Hello, I'm so glad you're here. I am here to talk to you about parenting, and this is in the series of parenting talks and classes that I'm doing. And last time we were together, I shared uh, about our responsibility as parents to help encourage them in their self esteem and in teaching them skills and a lot of things that we as parents are responsible to do for in creating the best possible uh, people, grown people, as we can, and giving them the skills and all of the guidance that they need throughout their lives. And so this particular class is all about spoiling your child, the opposite of abusing and humiliating and maybe ignoring your child. This particular behavior for the parent in spoiling their child may be a parent that does everything for their child, no matter what age they are. So they might be brushing their teeth till they're 10 years old and never allowing the child the chance to try it themselves, do it themselves. And in that case, that child may grow up thinking, not knowing how to brush their teeth properly because they aren't trying it. And so, as soon as they're age appropriate to be able to try it, and you see that they want to try it, you can help them learn to brush their teeth. Now, as they go on through their ages, it's a consistent thing, so we might be having to teach them over and over about how to brush their teeth and allowing them to try it. Sometimes we might have to do some of those spots that they miss and explain to them where they're missing and where they need to do a better job on that. But allowing them to do the job, to allowing them to try that skill, is how they learn. It's how we all learn. We have to develop those skills by trying it. We aren't going to just automatically know how to do certain things. So, in doing things for your child all the time, even when they are capable of trying it or doing it themselves, that creates a spoiled child. So they're going to believe and understand that no matter what you're doing and no matter what they want, when they want it, you're going to do it for them and you're always going to do it for them. But as a parent, you will get to a point where you're frustrated sometimes with that. And you will start to lash out at the child that they're being demanding and you're tired of doing everything for them, and you might have your own little temper tantrum. So it's all about balance. We have to stick to our rules. We have to allow the child to do what they can. We have to teach them how, and we have to consistently do these things. Now, one of the myths about spoiling your child is people will say, if you don't spank your child, they're going to be spoiled. Or they'll see a child acting out like they're spoiled, and they'll say, that child's spoiled because they didn't get spanked. Well, that is just a myth, because the fact is, spanking is not going to help that child to not be spoiled, because you might lash out and spank them and then turn around and do everything else for them. So it's really about the parent's ability to use other types of discipline. Spanking can create more problems for the parent because the child tends to withdraw, get angry, and lash out at you or other children or some other adult. So when we teach our children not to hit, we have to show that behavior by not hitting them. So as we go through these classes, I will be sharing different types of skills that you can use instead, different types of discipline that will be teaching, encouraging, and helping your child instead of humiliating, degrading, and shaming them. So the other thing about spoiling your child that I'm sorry, I had to check that, that may be happening is if the child wants to try something, but you don't allow that. You're like, no, you can't do that. I'm doing that for you. So in some cases, like with babies, they slowly learn to try and feed themselves, and you have to encourage that. But some parents may not like the mess that it creates, or take the time to sit with them and show them how to eat it by themselves. So they'll just do it for them. So it's easier, they think, to just do it for them. I'll just do it for them. It's easier. I don't have to clean up the big mess. I don't have to sit here and explain it to them. I got things to do. But in the long run, every child needs your attention, and they need your encouragement. And when it's time for them to do certain things, you are the person, if you're their caregiver, you're the person that's going to teach that to them. If they go to daycare, the daycare might be teaching them things, but hopefully it's the same things you want to be taught to your child. Because that is another thing, as a parent, you want to make sure that the people that are taking care of your children, that are interacting with your children, have the same goals as you do. And they are using the same disciplines that you do. And you want to make sure that it's all age appropriate. And that's why it's so important to know the stages and ages of children, and when they are capable of doing certain things. Now, some children can maybe do things earlier, and some may be delayed. But expecting children to do things that they're not ready to be able to do can just frustrate and discourage them and not build their self-esteem. So that is why it's really good as a parent to seek out these information about how when children are appropriate age to do certain things. And sometimes when you go to the doctor, they give you a list of things that your child should be doing or shouldn't be doing at a certain age. These are all just guidelines. So I am going to pause this for just a minute, because I am actually recording this in my trailer, because we're up at our property where we're trying to build our house, and the wind is blowing very strongly. So I'm going to pause and close the awning, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got that handled, and that's kind of like life. Stuff happens. Sometimes you'll hear my animals in the background and all sorts of things. But I just wanted to say in this particular topic that it's okay for parents to take their own time out when they're feeling frustrated. When children have got you to the point where you are getting angry and frustrated, and you know you're not behaving your best, and that you may continue to get frustrated. And so it's okay to take your own time out. Put your children in a safe place and give yourself 5 or 10 minutes and breathe through it. Think about the best possible thing that you can that gives you peace and comfort, and think of, while you're in there, about what the appropriate way would be to follow through with this. So you can tell that there's a lot going on around me right now, and this is a perfect example of things just not being perfect when you're doing things, such as taking this video and preparing it. The same thing can happen as parents. Our children may not be responding and behaving in a way that we want them to, and we might be busy doing other things and have to stop what we're doing and take care of them and their needs. I was talking about parents taking their own timeouts. So it is okay for parents who are getting frustrated and knowing that they're not able to do what they know is the best thing at the time with their children, and they might need to take a breather and a little time out for themselves to go into the bathroom, shut the door, make sure your kids are somewhere safe. Babies can be in their play pack or their playpen and play for a while. Even if they're crying for 5 to 10 minutes, they'll be okay. Other children who are older, you can put them in their, age-appropriate room to play for a few minutes and take your time to think about and breathe through your feelings. And if you're having frustration, think about something calm, something that you like to do or you enjoy, like going to the mountains and seeing all the beautiful flowers and trees and whatever you like to do. Pray if you pray and ask for some strength and some wisdom for dealing with your children. And think about what your rules are and what you know is appropriate for that child and the situation, and what you can do different when you go out from your time out to see the child. And then go out and address the child calm and appropriate and with your rules in mind and the disciplines that you have put together for your family. And it's a way better way to deal with it than just acting out in frustration and anger. And if you do have issues with that and on a regular basis where you're angry and acting out and hitting your children, that may be a sign that you need some help with your anger. And there are people that handle those situations and help you with it, counselors and other programs for anger management, if that is what the problem is, or other issues that we might have. If we have drug addictions or other outside things that are causing us to be losing our tempers and having anger issues. I had a very angry father my whole life, and but then he could be very nice, so I never knew what to expect from him. And because of that, I learned anger, and I learned frustration, and we all have some of that. Some of us learn other, if we're taught that all the time in our lives, we may have to address that because it's something that could have been carried over in that baggage that I've talked about. But that is a solution, a better solution than acting out, is to take your own time out. And to take some time, find people around you that are like-minded in your parenting disciplines and how you teach your children, so that you can feel comfortable leaving your child with someone, a friend or family member or daycare center that you trust, and you know that you can go somewhere and take some time for yourself, and they will be safe and they'll be good and they'll be happy. So we all need that, and we all need to build those support groups. And so as parents, we have a lot of responsibility, so we also need to take care of ourselves emotionally and spiritually and physically. And sometimes we just need to go have some fun with our husbands or by ourselves with our girlfriends. Just take some time to give to yourself. Go out and exercise. And I really was lucky in that way that I did somehow create that in my life. And I also, people trusted me to watch their children, and I've watched a lot of my friends' kids for them. So when you go out and are making friends, you'll find out that there's families that like to be with families, and the fathers like to be with those fathers, the mothers like to be with the mothers, and the kids like to be with the kids. And you will find those relationships. It's also important to know that we all need understanding. So if we have some friends that need some encouragement to take a parenting class, or to maybe learn some new skills, you can encourage them to find that help. And you could offer that help to watch their children while they do that. Maybe you have friends that you know need some time to go out and exercise, and you can offer help in watching their children for that, and exchanging that care for each other's children is really helpful for all parents. So that's all I'm going to share today, is just remember that we're all human and we all have emotions, and sometimes we aren't, we can get over the top with whatever's happening in our lives. So just remember, you take care of yourself, then you can take care of your children, and you can keep your anger in check. Okay. Bye-bye.